Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
A gust of cold air sweeps through.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking?
No.
This? Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality?
Don't let her become complacent. She still...
Do you know what this is? I drove it into the ground within a year. And now you're telling me what? Yeah, that's why people like... It's like... But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
What have you found? A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice?
She's... Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her.
Wait, what? The entire...
This is a lot for her to pass.
I understand what's going on here. It's okay.
As she has to.
Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books.
Wow.
I am sorry.
The shop around you feels ancient. This trash container is with a... Maybe you shouldn't. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time.
And is that Cordon Electric's preamp? No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not. All you see is only in...
Or it may just...
You've done this before. The movements are recorded. No. Good prep. A box falls into people among... As the...
The victims drop them in... Guitar mark. The belt is...
Something slimy, cat.
This is a...
The rest of the...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put... Not really.
The fuck's he on about?
The lieutenant, no. It's just nothing. What's this? A blue... Something not just...
Officer. Is that... Yes, it is. If you don't mind me asking. Officer.
Easier said than done.
It will also not...
Some items, such as the ledger you found...
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
As you turn, a bright light. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere... Yeah, you... With a sudden flash... It's just a racist. Oh boy, here we go. What? But... It's the ledger you found in the trash. There's... It, below the pathetic... It's just... Still wet. An aluminium block. The surf.
It depends.
Your kill count.
All right.
This means you can...
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag... This... An aluminium block runs... A bunch of sodden papers. It's made of dark... The blue heart. Some... There's pain in there. With your hands, you fall. Once in a while, work, strife, poverty, written in your hand cramps up, wearing out, nearly gone. Yes, it appears you employ a... Yes. Others, you like the... Wish there was one. It's going to take an effort to piece...
You mean the alphanumeric? Oh, you mean... It's a holdover from the early days of... Again, I pray his love. Rail spiked through the head. He died.
There is, for the ledger only comes with an old... The lieutenant looked. It's downright. He is not really saying anything. Just standing there, looking wordless. The top... Into... And a fuck you. Yours. Things to...
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. In 3, a monetary a color of the iris. Yes, the rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear, being sandwiched between. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. The slides snap back into place. It should, without resistance. 2 ticket stubs. 2 octopuses are smiling. Thin wax paper has been... a touch of cinnamon. Harry, throw it away, please. Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
The call when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing. Don't prod at it. It will start moving again. There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause. Your name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry. Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the tools.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The raspberry gauge jets, and the engine of the caprice comes to life with a whiny growl. That sound, you feel the wind in your hair as if you're already driving. But where? Down a narrow street, lined with shabby wooden houses, the 881 motor tracked, coiling like a serpent high above. Children play under the viaduct, eyes turn to watch you as you pass. The valley of dogs, and before it, a familiar dome, like a ladybug without the colors. The building has a designated parking place for your carriage. This is Precinct 41, as close as you have to home now. It's far away. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a
There she is, Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200. The last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got... wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Confirmed kills? That sounds pretty evil. A drink would soften that feeling.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
if you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
A dark pool of cheap wine appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema. Honorably done. You have given up some of your own blood for theirs.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal. It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual... Arson, petty... You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smell. Without resistance or sound, it's your hand shakes. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
Thank you anyway.
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes?
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome. No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. You're sure Easilio mentioned something about a lawyer, Elizabeth someone, but you're too dumb to remember what it was.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave. What you want is of no significance, officer. What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. It is, isn't it? History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because it's also post-industrial. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. That's right. Remember,